Hello everyone, it's TrailTrekBeck. Thank you for joining me again today. I am still in Kootenay National Park, and today I'm on a trail called Swansea Mountain Tower Trail. So it is Mount Swansea, which I am on, and it's located in the Columbia Valley, and it's overlooking the Upper Columbia River, Lake Windermere, the Columbia Wetlands, and the town of Invermere. So the mountain itself is called Mount Swansea. But the trail specifically that I'm on is called Swansea Mountain Tower Trail. So this trail actually, it is very, very popular for hiking and biking. There are separate trails. Some are for hiking and some are for biking. So the trail that I'm following, like I had mentioned, it's called the Swansea Mountain Tower Trail. And this is specifically for hikers. But as you see me progress up the trail and up the mountain, you're going to see a series of other trails that kind of interconnect with this one. And those are for biking, and I'm going to stay off of those trails. One, because they're a lot more narrow, and two, they do a lot of different loops than what I specifically want to do here. So with this specific trail, the Tower Trail, it is very clearly marked, so I can make sure I'm staying where I need to be, where sometimes the bike trails, they throw me off a little bit. I don't always know where I'm going. But this trail specifically is because it's going to take me up to the summit of Mount Swansea, and I'm going to get to do a nice loop around the summit there and get this beautiful 360 view of the Columbia Valley. So if you were with me when I did the Juniper Sinclair loop through the Sinclair Canyon, it also gave us a nice view of the Columbia River Valley. This one here, this mountain, is a little bit further from Juniper Sinclair loop, but it's still in the same area. So again, it's nice and close to where I'm staying in Radium Hot Springs. But this one is going to give me another view of the Columbia Valley, only from a different perspective. And this one gives me, like I said, a nice 360 view. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. But yeah, so I'm gonna hike on up. I'm going to show you the hike as I get up there. You can see how the terrain changes. It's, we get some rocky parts of the trail and we get some forested areas. So again, it's, there's a nice dynamic view and aspect of this trail that's very enjoyable. So I'm just making my way up the mountain still. It's going to zigzag a little bit until I get to the summit loop here. But you can see the nice views of the Rockies around me. Of course, I'm on a mountain. We're going to see tons of mountains around as well. Get that nice view. The nice valley that we're in. .7 kilometers in. So you heard me say there, just to reiterate, that we are 1.7 kilometers into the hike. So at this point, we've done most of the steep switchbacks at the very beginning. They're not too steep. I will rate this so far as moderate. But now you can see that steepness is kind of leveled out as we got towards Mount Swansea. And there it is, just over 2 kilometers in.
Just over 2 kilometers.
We've got this nice forested area, kind of a switch up from that rocky terrain we were on earlier. You can see now I'm starting to get more up Mount Swansea. Before I was kind of coming up the side of it. Now I'm going towards the summit, towards the peak. Getting some of those nice views of the valley. Look at that. So again, that's the Columbia River Valley we're looking at. We are in Windermere. And speaking of Windermere, actually, when I was reading up about Mount Swansea, apparently it wasn't always its name. In 1801, it was known as Windermere Mountain. So I thought that was kind of neat. We are in Windermere, so it makes sense. And apparently the trail initially was constructed to reach a copper mine here at the summit. And in the first year, there was tons of horses that carried about, I don't know, tons, like maybe 50 tons of copper ore down the mountainside. So it was actually, it served a huge purpose for the community here. So I thought that information was actually pretty neat. So here we go again.
Right. 3 kilometers in.
There we are, 3 kilometers in, getting a nice view of the valley again. There's Lake Windermere. And going back to my little story of history here, apparently in 1891, I don't know how truthful this story is, but it seems pretty cool to me, so I like it. One of the owners had named the mountain Mount Swansea, since allegedly the original name was given by the Vikings, and that name was Swain's Eye. So I can kind of see how Swain's Eye can turn into Swansea. I don't know how truthful the story is, but I think it's pretty cool. So there you go. So there is the trail. This is the Tower Loop now that we're doing up at the summit of Swansea Mountain. And I do highly, highly recommend when you come here to do this loop around the summit, go right. Do the loop counterclockwise. You're going to get some really amazing views of this kind of 360 opportunity to see the valley. When I was doing research, I was reading the reviews, and everyone had recommended doing counterclockwise, and I'm really happy I listened to the reviews. All right, so you can see here we're in a nice forested area. The terrain is leveled off quite a bit. This is just the very beginning of the Tower Loop at the summit.
Okay, 4 kilometers in. Getting to the back of the loop soon. So the viewpoint will be coming up shortly.
Yeah, so you hear me there, 4 kilometers in. That's the Tower Loop trail we're following.
That trail going up would take me to the other side of this mountain and down to a different parking lot. That's why I'm doing this one, continuing the loop here and then going down and out the way I initially came up. So I basically just hiked up this side of the mountain to the summit and then back down the same side. If I took the other trail, I would go down the opposite side of the mountain. But this is the Tower Loop for the views, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so you hear me there just explaining a little bit of the trail. There is another access point to this. It does actually take to a parking lot off to the right-hand side there. But of course, that's not where I'm parked, and that's not where I want to go, so I'm following the Tower Loop specifically.
Coming up from the loop, the other side, 4.5 kilometers in. The views here. Keep going up. Better views up this way. This is the opposite side of the loop. And then following this back will take us to the main point that we initially got here at. I'm out of breath.
I'm out of breath. So we're starting to come to the views here on the other side of the loop.
Alrighty.
And it's a good time to do this too, because it's in the evening.
Look at that go up and have our dinner. Woot woot.
Giving you a nice view here.
Wow. I'll walk to the edge as far as I can go before I tumble and roll off and become a pancake on the bottom.
It is very steep.
Woo! Wow.
And it drops suddenly.
Oh my gosh. The breeze is so nice. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm gonna climb up and get another view. Our friend, the picnic table. There's a higher up view. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Alrighty. So this is just the beginning of the loop back. We're about 4.6 kilometers in. So halfway back. Ooh. Okay. Well. Oh, solar panels. Cool. Alright.
So this is a neat part of the trail. It hugs right underneath the solar panels here. But this is where I start to kind of lose where I am. You'll see. So I'm looking for the trail here, and I didn't realize this, but I needed to go over further to the left, but it's safe, I was safe, and it's fine, and I actually have a really good time doing this.
Oh wow, this is a cool way down. Okay, let's go for it. Great. Not really much of a trail here. Actually, it's close by.
So I'm trying to find the trail. I didn't go over far enough to see it.
Which way can I get down? Or should I go this way? Nope. This way it is. Alright, bum to stone, let's go.
So what I said there is I went bum to stone because it's so steep right here that I couldn't stand upright while holding the GoPro and keep myself balanced.
That's literally what I just climbed down. That's not exactly a trail. It's fun. Alright. Keep going. Okay. So I got the bottom of all that rock piling. The trail's over here. This is the trail down. I just completely missed it. Oh well. You win some, you lose some. And this one, I definitely won because that climbing down was awesome. Alright.
It was.
Let's go.
It was totally worth it. And it was very safe too. It's super steep and obviously you're climbing on rocks.
5 kilometers in.
But it's manageable.
Up to the end of this loop around.
Yes, you hear me there.
On the summit of this mountain. Well, the summit of the part of this mountain.
5 kilometers in. So we are finishing up the loop here on this tower trail part on the summit. And just coming up towards the end, it's going to loop right back around to the beginning where we saw those signs where I initially had turned off right to do this trail counterclockwise. I love that there's benches and picnic tables so you can come up here and enjoy a little lunch or a snack or it's just so quaint. It's so cozy. Those sweet little comforts you get out in nature, it's really nice. All right, so I see the sign up there on the left-hand side, so I know I'm coming to the end of the loop. What I'm going to do after this is I'm just going to walk out the way I came in. So there's that.
Oh, righty. That's the end of the loop. Back down the mountain we go.
Yep, so I'm just following the trail out that we've already seen on my way up. So as always, I want to leave you with some stats and some pictures. So the total length of this trail for me was 8.12 kilometers. The elevation gain that I did was 369 meters. And that's just going to take me up to the summit of Mount Swansea there and give you that nice 360-degree view of the Columbia Valley. My moving time was 2 hours and 8 minutes. There was a couple times I did stop to take some pictures, but some of the steepness of the beginning of the mountain also will add a bit more time because I got a little exhausted, and at times there you heard that I was out of breath. But my total time that I spent was 2 hours and 14 minutes. But like I said, my moving time was 2:08. So I only stopped for a little bit to get a snack and catch my breath, of course, and take some pictures. It is a really nice evening stroll. I do recommend it. You saw that the sun was setting there and it just looked absolutely gorgeous. So again, everyone, thank you so much for joining me on my trek today. And as always, keep trekking.